Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about Walt Disney World Resorts.
There's three different ways you could categorize these Walt Disney World Resorts. The first is by location, the second is by price, and then the third is by theming. And we are going to talk about each one. First off, location. We are going to tell you which ones are in the Animal Kingdom area, and those are All-Star Sports, All-Star Movies, All-Star Music, Coronado Springs, and Animal Kingdom, which is Jambo House and Kidani Village.
In the Disney Springs area, you have Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, Port Orleans Riverside, and Port Orleans French Quarter.
Next up is the Epcot area. You have Beach Club, Yacht Club, Boardwalk, Riviera, Swan and Dolphin, and Caribbean Beach.
For the Magic Kingdom area, you have Grand Floridian, Contemporary, the Polynesian, the campsites and cabins at Fort Wilderness. You have Boulder Ridge and Copper Creek, which is Wilderness Lodge, and Bay Lake Tower.
And then last is Wide World of Sports area, and that is Art of Animation and Pop Century. Okay, the second way you can categorize these resorts is by price. They are broken down into three different sections. You have the deluxe, the moderate, and the value resorts. And so for the deluxe resorts, we have Copper Creek, Boulder Ridge, Animal Kingdom, which is Jambo House and Kidani Village, Swan and Dolphin, Beach Club, Yacht Club, Riviera, Bay Lake Tower, Saratoga Springs, Old Key West, Boardwalk, Polynesian, Grand Floridian, and Contemporary.
In the moderate category, we have Port Orleans Riverside and French Quarter, Coronado Springs, Caribbean Beach, and the cabins at Fort Wilderness. And then bringing up the last category, which is the value category, we have the All-Star Sports, All-Star Movies, All-Star Music, Art of Animation, and Pop Century.
Those three different categories, here are the differences between them. First difference is the cost.
Okay, we'll start things off with the value resorts. So what we did was we priced out a room for the values for two adults for next August, the 24th, 2022, for a Wednesday night, and these prices are excluding tax. They start at $132 a night and go all the way up to Art of Animation, which is $189 per night. Next up are the moderate resorts, and the lowest here is Coronado Springs at $254 a night, and it goes all the way up to the Fort Wilderness cabins at $426 per night. Finishing up with the deluxe, the lowest on this list is Wilderness Lodge at $392 a night, and as you can see, it just escalates on up to the top of Grand Floridian at $673 per night.
Those deluxe resorts are super expensive, but we have rented DVC points before, and you can too, and that will get you there for about half the price if you find a good deal. Keep that in mind. Okay, so the different ways these categories vary. The first is by price. The second one is by location and transportation. So in general, the value resorts are farther away from the parks, and the moderate and deluxe get closer to the parks. Also, the farther away you are, they only have bus services, so the buses are more crowded, and then the closer you are, you have more choices on transportation. You have boats, you have Skyliner, you have monorail, or you could walk. The next difference is the restaurants. The lower priced resorts will only have food courts. The moderate resorts will have at least one table service restaurant, and then the deluxe resorts will have table services. They will be nicer, and some of them will be character dining. Next difference is the pools. The more money you pay for the resort, the better the pools will be. They will have water slides and just be nicer in general. And then the last difference is the rooms. The more you pay, the bigger your room will be, the bigger the bathroom, the bigger the balcony. The value resorts are kind of like a hotel room. You walk right in and there's the bed. So that's just the differences between these resorts. Okay, so now we're going to talk about each individual resort, because you may know, oh, I want a moderate or I want a deluxe, but there's so many deluxes, which one suits you best? So we're going to talk about each one individually, just a minute on each one, just to give you like the general vibe of the resort. And we are going to start off with Grand Floridian.
Start at the top.
Yes. Now, we We really like it there. We haven't stayed there, but we have been there a lot. But it's definitely on our bucket list. It's my daughter's goal to stay there.
Sure. We spent a lot of time on those grounds. We've eaten at the Grand Floridian Cafe. We've shopped at that upper level terrace in the main building. We've walked the grounds, seen the pool. We've actually watched fireworks, the Magic Kingdom fireworks from the marina area there at Grand Floridian. So it's a really nice place. You can't miss it. Big white building with the reddish roof. It just looks high-end, upscale.
It's beautiful.
I think it is,
yeah, it's just sprawling. It's huge. And they just created a new walkway. You could walk to Magic Kingdom. It's a long walk, but you can. And you can also grab the monorail.
Yep.
So transportation is good.
Yep, very good.
All right, next up, Polynesian, right next door to Grand Floridian. And I really like the vibe here. I feel like I'm in Hawaii. They're doing all kind of Moana renovations, which we love. The pools are pretty. They have a beach, and you can see the Magic Kingdom from the beach. You can watch fireworks from the beach. And they have, I think it's called Pineapple Lanai, where they serve Dole Whips. So you can't beat that. They also have Ohana, which people love. We haven't been there yet, but that's a great restaurant.
Lush vegetation, great grounds, close to Ticket and Transportation. They have their own monorail stop.
Oh yeah, you could walk to Ticket and Transportation.
Yeah, it's a nice location, nice resort.
Next up, Riviera. This is the newest resort. This is DVC only, but you could rent points and go there. And what do you think about Riviera?
Well, I mean, we've been there several times.
We haven't stayed there. My sister
stayed
has stayed there, and we've been in her room.
Yeah, the rooms are really nice.
They're very clean,
very
and
clean.
simple, and high end.
Yep. We've eaten at the restaurant Topolino's. Very, very nice. The food was good. We had a good time there. The grounds are fine.
There's a pretty lake behind
Yeah,
it.
decent pool. Like I said, nice lake. To walk around a little bit.
It's on the Skyliner.
So, we'll stay there eventually and get a better feel for what it's like to actually stay there for a couple of nights. So.
Next up, Boardwalk. We've been to Boardwalk a few times. Chris loves the theming. I don't care for the theming, but I love the location. You could walk to Hollywood Studios. You could walk to Epcot. There are no restaurants in the actual building, but if you go outside of the building, there's lots of choices there on the actual boardwalk.
Yeah, I like Boardwalk a lot. Mostly the location. The theming, I guess, is okay. They have a decent pool, really cool weight room. But like you said, it's just the location right there on that boardwalk and just walking distance to Hollywood Studios, to Epcot, the Skyliner, get on the boats, do all that kind of stuff. So it's a cool location. I like it. We've stayed there, 3 times or something?
Yeah. One bad thing is it's really big. Like, you could enter the building and then it could take you 5 to 10 minutes to actually get to your room.
Yeah, there's these long wings left and right. You got to walk a lot depending on where they actually put you in your room. So yeah, you got to find your way around. Like, if you're not good with directions, you may get lost a couple times until you find your way around.
Next up is Contemporary and Bay Lake Tower. They are connected to each other by a walkway, and the theming is like simple, high-end.
Yeah, I don't know what you would call the theming for the Contemporary.
I've been in a room. It was fairly small. We haven't stayed there.
Yeah. It's kind of like that A-frame shape where the monorail comes through it, which I think is actually really cool.
They have Chef Mickey's there, and they have the one way up top, California Grill. Yeah, so they have some nice restaurants there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then there's Bay Lake Tower, which is connected to it. They have no shops and no restaurants, but you could just walk over to Contemporary. But they're right there on Bay Lake. And now when we stayed at Bay Lake Tower, you could either choose a theme park view or a lake view. We chose standard, but we got both. We could see the theme park and the lake, and it was beautiful. We did a review on that, so you should check that out. But the best part of these two resorts, the location. Yeah, you can walk right to Magic Kingdom, which is awesome.
Yeah, and the theming there is no theming there. Like, I guess the theming, just think of like New York City, Manhattan, high rise, hip, clean, trendy. That's the feel I got from staying at Bay Lake. So.
Yeah. All right. Next up, this is in the Epcot area, the Beach Club and the Yacht Club, and this is on my bucket list. I want to stay at Beach Club. Their pool is called Stormalong Bay, and people rave about this pool. And so I am excited to go there because I love the beachy theme. I'm sure the Yacht Club is very similar, but they have nice restaurants. We've been to a few of them, walking distance to Epcot and Hollywood Studios, or take the Skyliner.
Yeah, right across that little lake from Boardwalk, so great location.
Yeah. Next up, Coronado Springs. This is a moderate resort, And
I've never been there, so.
yeah, this is big on conventions too. Some people love it, and some people love the pools. I just didn't like the vibe when I went there. It was very brown, and there's like a Spanish flair. Yeah, some people love it. I just wasn't for me.
Okay, next is Port Orleans, Riverside, and French Quarter.
Yeah, and these two are side by side. You can take a boat to Disney Springs. And Port Orleans Riverside, I really liked. It's very lush, and I just had a good feeling when I was there. It's like deep south, very pretty. They have hammocks and a pool, and you can go fishing, and they have a game room, and it's really cute. And French Quarter is similar. I just didn't like the vibe I got when I got there. It's like
Bourbon Street.
like Princess and the Frog feeling, which I didn't like. I just don't care for that kind of stuff. But they have the beignets there that everyone loves. Yeah, so these two are good moderate choices.
Next up is Animal Kingdom, which is Kidani Village and John Ball House. And I really like Animal Kingdom. That's my kind of personal theming. I like the safari theming there and the woodwork and all that kind of stuff. So stayed there, I think I've stayed there 3 times, and I really like it. We've had the standard deluxe rooms, and we've been fortunate enough to be able to oversee like the savannah and see animals and stuff like that. So really cool. I really like it there.
Yeah. There is Sanaa at Kidani Village, and that's a restaurant people love. Remember the bread service there?
What's that quick service? We have good luck with the quick service there. Mara, yeah.
Yeah, they have zebra domes that everyone loves, the little desserts. Yeah, so it's a fun place to stay.
Yeah, never stayed at Kidani Village, but John Ball House, we've had really good success there.
Yeah. Next up, Copper Creek and Boulder Ridge. These are both at Wilderness Lodge, and these are our favorites. They are right there on Bay Lake. It is so pretty. You're just right in the middle of nature. I kind of feel like I'm camping.
Yeah, absolutely.
In luxury.
Yeah, they have that Pacific Northwest theming with the mountains and the big pine trees and firs and stuff like that, and rocks and boulders, and yeah, really cool.
The lobby is beautiful. Yeah. The pool is beautiful. Our favorite restaurant, Geyser Point. And they have another restaurant inside that's really fun. This is our favorite spot.
Yeah, like a lot.
All right, next up, a moderate Caribbean beach. Now, Chris has never been there. I have been there, haven't stayed there, and it is huge. There is an internal bus system, so a lot of people don't like the fact that it's so big. But I got a really good vibe from it, just the Caribbean, and there's hammocks and playgrounds and pools, and it's just really, it gives me a good feeling.
Next up is Old Key West and Saratoga Springs. We've stayed at both of them. They're really big properties. They're DVC only again, and we liked it. You know, I think for Old Key West we were like in the back, very back. We had our own little pool at our little section of buildings, which
the rooms are big.
Big rooms, yeah.
Both of them you can take a boat to Disney Springs. I like them both.
Yeah. See, for me, those two locations feel like
less Disney.
A lot less Disney, and feels like you're way out, and it feels more like condo-ish to me, and not. When I go, I like the Disney like resort feel. Those don't feel like resorts to me. They feel like condo associations. Yeah.
Saratoga Springs, the theming is like the horse racing.
Yeah, like upper state New York horse racing vibe.
Yeah.
And then obviously Old Key West is Florida Old Key West.
Yeah, and Saratoga Springs, you can walk to Disney Springs.
Yeah, you could. Be a little bit of a walk in the summer, 90 degrees be hot. And they just redid the rooms at Saratoga Springs. They were really nice. We stayed there recently. So.
Now for some of the values. Art of Animation. I love this place. We've never stayed there, but I've been there many times. The theming is so cute, especially if you have little kids. There's a Cars area, there's a Nemo pool, there's a game room, there's a huge store, and it's just such a cute place to stay. They have Little Mermaid rooms and Cars suites and the Lion King suites. And if you have more than 4 people, this would be a good choice for a value resort. Pop Century. Again, never stayed there, but we've been there. And here the theming is like the fads throughout the years, like the 70s or the 80s or the 90s, like bowling or Rubik's Cube. And a lot of people love this. Out of all the value resorts, they love this resort. It's right on the Skyliner.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Moving on to the All-Stars. We have All-Star Sports, All-Star Movies, All-Star
Music. Yeah, and we've stayed in all of them.
We stayed in all of them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a good choice if you want to stay within a budget.
Yeah.
They the rooms are smaller. I think the movies have queen size beds, and I think everybody else has the full size beds. But they're cute. They have game rooms and gift shops and pools and food courts.
Yeah. Everything you would need, for a family to have a successful Disney trip and save a lot of money. I mean, listen, you're staying on Disney property for $130 some a night, man. You really can't beat that. And you have the bus service to the park, so yeah, they get crowded, and you have a little bit of extra hassle and headache for some things, but hey, it's a great way to stay on Disney property.
Especially if you're going to spend the whole day at the parks.
Yeah, who cares?
We have Fort Wilderness campsites and cabins, and we haven't stayed at either of these, but we've been over there. We've been to the Hoop-de-Doo Review, and there's lots of fun activities to do over there in Fort Wilderness. You can even rent an RV and take it there. And then last up, the Swan and the Dolphin. Now these are kind of Disney hotels, kind of not. You get some of the perks, but not all of the perks. We've been to them. We haven't stayed in them, but that's an option too.
Yeah. Good locations too. They're like right there near Boardwalk, so a walk to Hollywood Studios. You can walk over to the Skyliner and Epcot, right there by Boardwalk. So yeah, I think they're good locations.
So many Disney resorts to choose from. If you can't choose just one, you could also do a split stay. A lot of people spend a few days at one resort and then move to another resort for a few days. Now, you could do this just to check out 2 different resorts, or 3 or 4. Or maybe if you're trying to make reservations and there's no availability, but you can just piece together a few different resorts, that's another way to do it. And Bell Services will transfer your luggage for you. So when you check out one morning, you just give your luggage to Bell Services, and then when you go to your next hotel, it will be there waiting for you. So that could be fun. Hope this helps you out. Our favorite is Wilderness Lodge.
Yeah.
A strong second Animal Kingdom
for me, for sure.
So make sure you comment below and tell us what your favorite Walt Disney World Resort is. Thanks for watching.
See ya.